Go ahead.
How did Arizona get done in terms of what you were hoping to accomplish?
It was good. I think we were able to get the fitness work in that we wanted to get in. You know, the team was good about that. We were able to make some decisions on some players that we've made. You know, we're able to see how some other players fit in. You know, start to work on the team shape and its cohesion. You know, now we can really concentrate on that part of it. You know, now Evans is back and DeAndre is back as well, so we can put those final pieces in there. But thought Arizona was good. The games were good. I thought defensively, you know, in each game, the unit that played sort of the first half or the opening minutes of those games did fairly well. Really didn't give up many goals. The penalty kick probably should have been a goal. You know, but obviously you missed it. But I was pleased with where we're at.
Brad talked about the chemistry of this group feeling better this year. You guys obviously made a lot of changes. How much difference can that make if you kind of get the right clubhouse?
Well, I think everybody's just coming out to practice every day and is working hard. You saw practice today. You know, there was good spirit in practice. There was good intensity. You know, everybody's pulling for each other. Everybody's pushing for each other. And that's the important thing, you know, from our team standpoint. But, you know, I think it's a little bit a case of the returning guys are disappointed with the final result last year and how the season ended, so they're motivated, and the new guys are motivated because they're new. You know, some are happy for a change of scenery themselves, and that helps their motivation. And then you got young blood in there, draft picks or young players that are trying to make a true name for themselves in the league, and so they raise the level of competition. So I think the level of competition's been raised in training on a daily basis because of the personalities that we have in terms of where they're at in their career.
Is it going to be tight to kind of make this team? Are the battles for those last couple of roster spots pretty tight?
Yeah, it's going to be tight. I think spots, however you want to look at it, you know, if we have 30 or if we have 28, you know, but spots 24 on are going to be tight. I think there's going to be some guys who we either got to find a creative solution, or some guys are going to be disappointed at the end decision. But that just makes us a better team, and it shows the competition. I think somebody who I sort of, you know, the guys sort of know what you're doing. I sort of dropped down into the third group. All of a sudden, his game really picked up as he went down to that group. So I think everybody knows now they're in for a battle.
Even though it's kind of a year away, will the USL Pro stuff make that easier for teams to kind of balance those guys that are on the end?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of guys that, you know, if we had a USL Pro team right now this year, we'd probably say, okay, let's just sign that guy to that team, and we continue to move forward with that player. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, we still have to deal with the guys that we think can help us as we build for this year and as we build towards the future.
I know it's just one day back for DeAndre and Brad, but can you see a change in them, or if at all, from what they got at the national team camp that they're able to bring back here?
I mean, anytime you get exposure at the national team level, it's going to help you as you come back. Sometimes, though, when players come back from the national team camps, I call it national team hangover. And, you know, I've been going through it now as a coach all the way back to you know, 1977 when I had my first youth player selected for a national team. And so it's sort of like the chest puffs out a little bit, and you know, it's like, okay, and the game tactically is faster at the national team level, but it's also on a certain aspect a little bit slower because technically all the players are a little better, and so possession is better to be retained. So you got to get back into the rhythm of what you're doing with your club team. But certainly the experiences that you've had, what you've been exposed to, you know, the challenges that you face in those camps are things that you can carry back that help make you a better player, as long as you add those to your game and build on them.
Have you gotten any indication from Jurgen or any other team guys about how they viewed Brad and maybe more specifically DeAndre's time?
Yeah, we've talked, but that's for Jurgen to talk about, not for me. So I know where he's at and how he feels about those players. Yeah.
What do you need to see this week before you head off to Charleston?
We just want to, you know, work on our team right now, our understanding, our shape, our movement of the ball. We want to work on those things, and make sure that we get the ball moving a little bit quicker, that we know where our options are going to be when we have the ball, and that's one of the main things we want to work, as well as continue to build fitness, especially through this week. And then when we go into Charleston, then it's going to be more of a game phase. But so when you look at our training right now, the first week, shorter week. Second week, we really pushed them fitness-wise. Then the third week was more games, and so there's a little bit of drop-off, but they got the games in. Now we want to push them again a little bit fitness-wise, and then we'll drop off again.
After seeing what the Seahawks and their success did for this city, for the standards, does that add any extra motivation of wanting to bring a championship back to Seattle?
Well, that's why we're here, so some of that can rub off on us, or maybe it's fallen down from the ceiling, and we can sort of like seeds that fall on us and will grow within us to make us a championship team. But I think it just helps, when Seattle is a great sports town and obviously very supportive of teams that win, and we want to be part of that as well. We want to be part of that winning tradition. If we could have gotten there first, that would have been fantastic. And the Seahawks got there first, so that's superb. And so if we can follow suit for them and help that reputation continue, and then they in turn follow again, that would be great for us. And so I think anytime you have success within an organization, I think it helps the whole organization.
Are you seeing any separation? Are you getting closer to having a clear number one at keeper?
They're still out there every day training and battling. It's too early to make a call in that regard. Although Marcus can't come out and head the ball like he did against Portland.
Do you hope at Charleston to have more like a first 11 and getting them time, or are you going to use it kind of like you did in the desert where just everybody gets work?
It's going to be a mix, but it's definitely going to be closer to what we think is that team. But obviously, working with the realization that Clint Dempsey is not going to be there, and and then we've got to see the situation with Evans and possibly DeAndre. Are they going to get called in for the game against the Ukraine? Are they going to be gone that Wednesday, returning on that Thursday? How much of a role can they play then the following Saturday? So all of those enter into that final decision.
What have you made of Clint Dempsey's loan from before?
Obviously Fulham's in a very difficult situation, and the team has been struggling. For him, he got 120 minutes the other day in the Cup game, and that's the reason that he was held out of the next game, because of those minutes. So me and Clint have been in communication with each other and talking to each other. So, he feels he's definitely getting there fitness-wise. So he wants to be sharp when he comes back to here. But when you're in a relegation battle, it's very emotionally taxing.
It looked like he was inactive again today. I guess that would leave, one game left on the loan. Has there been any talk, and maybe his time could be served better here than with one game left?
We haven't really talked about that, at this stage.
What's the injury status, your health status?
Everybody trained today, with the exception of Eric Zavaleta and Will Bates. Were the only two that didn't train. Leo Gonzalez is starting to push through training. This afternoon we'll go easy, and then we'll evaluate him tomorrow. But he's starting to make progress, for sure. But those are the only two guys that missed training.
You talked about the success in Seattle and the history. This is the 40th anniversary. How much does this club's history, soccer in Seattle, have? How much does that kind of play into that mentality?
Well, how can I say, tradition I think is important in any club. And certainly the Sounders have a tradition that extends beyond the current Sounders into the Sounders of the past. And I think we, to acknowledge that and recognize that and bring that all into the forefront this year with the 40th anniversary is important. And certainly there have been some great coaches in the past, and Alan Hinton and Jimmy Gabriel and people like that have been involved in the old Sounders, and have also had an involvement in the new Sounders as we've moved forward. And obviously there's a lot of players, including Brian Schmetzer, who played for that team. And so being able to make them feel that this is part of what they built and part of what they started, I think is tremendous.
Anything else? Thank you.
Goal! Give your full 90 with the Sounders FC mobile app, featuring live audio, matchday blog, and much more to keep you connected. Download your app at soundersfc.com/mobile.